Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. My name is Sophie Scardacci. I'm with C&T and Creative Spark Platform, and I am here today with Jenny Lyon. Hi, Jenny.
Hey.
So Jenny and I have been working together for a while. She created a fabulous new course, and today we're going to talk to you about what you'd find in the course, about her book. And if you aren't familiar with Jenny, she does free motion quilting teaching. And if you're immediately like, whoa, that scares me, stay tuned.
Yes.
Jenny is your girl. And if you are familiar, she's got some really cool, fun other things to talk about today. So let's dive in. So just give me an overview about why you are excited to make this course. And the course is called Yes, You Can Free Motion Quilt. So go for it.
Okay. The main motivator for me is I do know that you can free motion quilt. There's so much negative out there about, oh, I can't free motion quilt, kind of like it's a gift or something. And I really do know, I've taught well over 1,000 students. I know that you can free motion quilt. I also know that not everyone can get to my live classes, and maybe your guild isn't going to hire me or whatever. And I really, really wanted to get this out there so that I can enable quilters to be able to quilt at least some of their own quilts. And maybe you're not going to, do your king size quilt at home. And maybe you've got a long armor that you love, but you still want to be able to do your charity quilts, and other things like that. And that's
okay. That's why
and I really was so excited to have this opportunity to put it on demand so that you can, the whole thing, you can do it in your jammies. So that's my motivation. And I also feel like I have a different approach than many other teachers. And I think that comes out in my course. I'm trying to make it more than anything. I think what makes me different is I work with your head as much as I work with your hands, because what's in here affects so much about what comes out here. So I address that head on in my course.
And I, as someone who's watched pretty much all of your videos from the course, that really comes across. As someone who doesn't quilt, I really felt empowered and like I knew how I was going to be able to approach doing it. So if you're somebody who's been a little hesitant, again, you don't need to do a giant project. And that's a lot of what the course is about. It's about practice and how to like gain your skill set, but having fun too. And you do a great job.
Yes.
So one of the things that Jenny sprinkles through this course is she calls them pops. So you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So points of perception, pops, because points, or is it perspective? I actually forget which, but it's basically what are you thinking in your head? And so I've got 10 of those sprinkled throughout the course that I think are very pragmatic additions to the course that help you set your mind straight on how to approach free motion quilting. For instance, I call it, I didn't make this up, but I address it, the 6-foot rule. You may or may not have heard of that. When we're quilting, okay, many of us, we have assisted vision. We're, this far away from our quilt. We've got massive light on our quilt. And my analogy is it's like my thighs, HDTV, 90 inches. It's like, oh my gosh, you just freak out. But the reality is that's not the way your quilt is viewed. So your quilt is generally viewed, I can't get 6 feet back, but you're generally viewing it 6 feet back or farther. So this happens all the time in class. Somebody will be quilting along and they'll say something out loud like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And I'll say break thread. And then I'll just step back like 3 feet and hold it in front of them. And almost every single time they go, and I don't know why they tilt their head this way. They go, oh, that's not that bad. And it's like, yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah. That's a great one, because so often we get caught up in the like little detail of a teeny stitch, and you're like, I have to catch myself with that, with embroidery or anything. Like,
oh yeah, it's so easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're that close, they should have be backing up anyway. Yeah, just
Oh,
kidding.
gotcha.
So, well, that's a great one. Give us another one of your great pops, and then we'll talk.
Okay, I start almost every class with two adages, and I'm dramatic and I write them big on the board and all that kind of stuff. The first one I call the most important word of the day, and it's got a punctuation mark. Gosh, I should have a little visual here like I do in class, but comma, yet. Really important concept. So you're quilting along and you're looking at your work and you're going, again, oh my gosh, this is awful. I can't free motion quilt. I just can't. And it's like, okay, girl, you've been doing this for, 10 minutes. It's okay. You can't quilt, comma, yet. You've been doing it for 10 minutes or half an hour or something like that. There's virtually nothing that you're going to learn that quickly. You have to give it some time. So don't be discouraged if you start out and it's really looking pretty rickety. It's okay. You will get better with, I do call it in my book, I call it practice, play and practice. I want your practice to be fun. So give it some time and you will see, I know that you can free motion quilt. And I do pair that with one other, which is visible learning curve.
Yes.
We I have a visible learning curve. You have a visible learning curve. Everybody has a visible learning curve, and accept that. Especially as a beginner, you're going to start out and it's going to be all rickety, but over time you're going to see that improve, and you kind of have to let that be. Don't go chasing after that, trying to rip it out and make it better. Just keep going. Just keep going. You're going to have that visible learning curve, and it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
And you have to start somewhere. That's the
You
thing.
do. You do.
Yeah. And you mentioned your book. And we have got lots of people putting notes up on the chats. Hey, by the way, before I go into the book, she's going to show you a book. We're going to give a book away. So if you would like the opportunity to get a book, just drop us a little note in the chat just so we see your name, and we will pick someone by the end of the restream today. And yeah, but we've got a bunch of people watching, so thanks, peeps. And if you have a question for Jenny, please throw it up there, so we will answer it. Jenny, show us your book and tell us a little bit about it, how it relates. Now, one thing I should let everyone know, if you buy her course, you get a free ebook version with it. So it's not a hard copy, but you get the digital version, and it's downloadable, and you can have it, on your tablet or on your computer or whatever. But there we go. So we got Free Motion Quilting from Ordinary to Extraordinary. And so tell us a little bit about the book.
Okay, I wrote the book because it's actually aimed at what I call the experienced beginner. So what happens to me all the time in class, in a beginner class, I feed this ton of information in a beginner class, and my student walks out and I'm kind of like, and I give them examples of what to do next, like good ideas of what to do next. But I always wonder, oh gosh, they need some follow-up. They need some support. And what the book does is it gets you from, okay, I kind of sort of know how to free motion quilt. I've done a couple of rickety things, and I know 3 different designs, and I'm sick of them. And I have this stack of beautifully pieced quilt tops over here, and I want to quilt them. How do I get from where I am now to where I'm confidently and joyfully quilting that stack of quilt tops? And so my book, I have a 21-day plan with lots of different options and suggestions to get you from here to here. I didn't make up the 21-day thing. It's how our brain works. But even if you didn't follow my plan, if you just sit down and quilt for 20 minutes a day for 21 days, you'll be shocked at how much better you are. And almost always after 21 days, you're going to be comfortable. You're just going to be much more comfortable free motion quilting. Okay, maybe you're not going to win Houston Best of Show yet, But you are going to feel confident enough to begin to do at least some of your own work, maybe charity quilts or table runners and things like that. So that's what the book does. I want to span that gap between really doing what you want to do and where you are now. So that was the whole purpose of the book, which, and I think it's, I do think it's a classic book, and I think it's a good resource book to have around. I think every free motion quilter should have some resource book, whether mine or whatever, one that you can refer to. You think you know it all, but then you forgot. So that's what my book's all about.
Oh, that sounds great. And that seems like that would go really well with the course. Like the course kind of gives you that foundation, and then you have that book to keep kind of practice with afterward.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
I totally get that. Hey, Terry had a question for us. She said, what is your favorite quilting motif?
Oh gosh, that's like favorite child. Okay, off the top of my head, it would be, thank you, Terry. That's a great question. It would be, okay, my gut reaction would be anything grid, because, there's a million ways to do grids, or I love feathers. I want to feather the world. I love feathers. There's so many different ways to do feathers. Feathers can fill odd spaces. Feathers can go on any genre of quilt. I love feathers. I love grid. So that's my off the cuff. I'll probably get off and I'll think, oh no, what about, that's my off the cuff response. Thanks, Terry.
So Jenny had a couple, as we were getting prepared for this, a couple kind of fun projects that are not in the class. They're just kind of new things she's been working on and that you can use your free motion quilting skills on. You want to share those with us?
Yeah. So I am always looking for projects that are perfect for somebody that has a little bit of experience free motion quilting, and they're the type of projects that don't require buttoned up perfect free motion quilting. So let me see. Okay, I'm getting used to this camera here. So I'm sorry, this is the opposite of what I'm used to. I'm sorry here, let me just get it.
There you go.
All right, I'll just stop.
That's why we're live.
Okay, I'll just stop.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a pillow. And what I did was I just fussy cut some motifs out of the fabric that I had on hand. I fused them to the pillow in a fun design, and then I beaded, free motion quilted, and something else. What? Oh, metallic thread. And you can put that's not showing up well. You can put your beads on by machine, by the way.
Really?
Yes, you can. And so this is just a fun, like, it's hard to know when to stop. And so you just take designs that you like and do a fun little pillow. And if you'll notice, well, maybe you don't notice, but my quilting does not have to be all buttoned up on this. You're not going to notice. Oh, that's too close. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So this is a really stress-free way to do it.
I love that.
And then I love shears. I'm always doing shears. So I created this. I'm going to make this a class at some point.
Yes, I've already asked for it to be a class, people.
Yeah.
So if you're like, that is your thing.
Yes, I love this. This is so fun. This is a great way to play with color without a color wheel, without color theory. You are in kindergarten and you are stacking pink on blue and you see purple, and it's just a blast to do this. It really is like kindergarten. And I hope I'm going to flip it over and you can tell from the back.
Oh, that is so cool, Jenny.
And you don't have to have all buttoned up free motion quilting on this. And it's just super fun. And I won't get too close. See how I'm sloppy woppy?
But the fun thing too, when you're using that black, is you really don't see your stitch length very well. So like if you don't have perfect stitch length regulation, it's
no. Yeah. No, this is a good project for someone with just a little bit of experience that you're just remotely comfortable. And then I took that same concept, and I'll see how far back I need to get. So I took a jean jacket.
Okay, so hopefully you all can see this, but this jacket, you've like cut it out and then you put a shear in it.
Yeah, I
It is
cut out the
so
center
cool.
panel and I'll come up. So this is screen material, but with the shears on top.
Yeah.
Oops, I can see that.
No, no, it's good. Oh, there we go. Hold it still. There we go. Oh, we're a little pixelated. Sorry.
I
Okay,
know.
okay, that's
Sorry.
okay. But I think you all get the gist. We can throw up a picture in the post afterwards too, Jenny.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. So we had a couple questions. One, do beads take a special foot? Teresa wanted to know.
No, actually they don't. I think it's the one on a Bernina, it's just like their normal 1C, and you're basically doing a zigzag, and you think it won't work, and it does. It
Oh,
really does. And
cool.
it's not as at first when you do it, it's like, oh my gosh, you're scared. No, it's there, it's easy. And I've got a couple of tips to make it easier. But you can do beads by machine
Yeah.
fairly easily.
And then people want to know what the on the jacket, what was the fabric that the flowers were set on?
So it's not netting. What I love, it is screen material, like literally window screen material. To get the white, you have to go online to get it. But it's stable and you can quilt through it easily. Your needle doesn't have any trouble with it. And I don't have to, because those are shears, I don't have to worry about finishing the edges of the shears and then doing it on the screen. The screen is not going to wobble or go out of grain or anything. So it's actually a great surface
Yeah.
to add free motion quilting to.
Yeah. And speaking of needles and things, that's one of the things that's covered in Jenny's class is she's covering all those basic things to lead you up, like needles, thread. So if you don't know any of that, she's going to cover that up to like having good posture. Every time I watch this one video, I feel like I have to like have better posture. So we we should still be live. Joan asked if we're still live. We should be live. And
Oh,
we are. It says we are live, but we'll see. Anyways, okay, great. So we've got lots of people put some comments in. Thank you. Things that they're so
oh,
beautiful, fun things that they're loving to see. Hey, if you want to be eligible to win our free book, and we're going to give it away any minute, please throw your name up because we'll give it away in a couple of minutes. But
yeah.
Jenny's course again is available on the Creative Spark platform. So I'm going to throw up, it's at creativespark.ctpub.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at CT Publishing and Creative Spark Online Learning. But come join our newsletter too on Creative Spark. You'll get up-to-date things on new classes, including hopefully Jenny, I'm talking about doing one with those shears. I think that would be tons of fun.
That'd be fun.
And yes, Terry, I know you're not going to be in my drawing. Oh. So Terry's another instructor on the platform. So that's what I was like, no, you're not winning. You're not winning that. But we appreciate everyone coming and chatting with us. So can you see the chat list there, Jenny? Do you want to, let's see. Okay. I can pick someone randomly. Can you pick me a number between 1 and 10?
7.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Hey, Sheila Blake. Sheila, if you are on still, I hope you are still listening. Hey, will you send us an email? You just have to send it to me at you can send it to me at actually info@ctpub.com. And that's probably the easiest. And just let me know that you were the winner of our Yes You Can free motion quilt. And I will, thanks, Terry's putting in the Jenny's class. That was sweet of you. Thanks.
Oh,
Terry.
thank you, Terry.
I should have done that. Where was my responsibilities?
Where were you?
I know. I need to so that was hello, not prepared, Jenny. Sorry about that. And Terry put in the also the email. I'm gonna also re-put it for our winner. There you go. And because she is also on YouTube. So she was watching via YouTube. So just so you all know, thank you for joining us. If anyone have any other questions for Jenny before we take off, and I think actually I'm going to pull up that this brilliant Terry Lucas was thinking of making sure we had your class page up and running. So let me go grab that really quickly. Jenny, anything else you want to share? Any more pops before we leave?
Yes, I wanted to say that when you take my course, you're not alone. I invite you to write me. I think at some point I might do a
Mhm.
live where I interact directly with my students. You might have questions or problems. If you get discouraged, I really hope that you write me, because I know that you can free motion quilt, and it's probably just some glitch in your setup, your machine, or something like that. I'd love to walk you through it, because I really, really want you to be able to have the joy when you hold that quilt. It's all yours, and that feels really good. And that's what I want. I hope you have that
Oh,
feeling.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that's true about so many of our courses.
Yes.
But Jenny, but our instructors mean it. They really do want you to interact with them. They want to answer your questions, and so don't hesitate to take. That's one of the things that I think makes our courses special, is that our instructors are
Yes.
going to respond directly to you. So
Yes.
I think that was great. So we had a great, thanks Jenny for joining me. Hey,
Thank
we
you.
plan on doing this a lot more. We have 2 next week.
Oh,
Becky
good.
Goldsmith is joining us, and Laura Wasilowski. So stay tuned. You can find the events should get posted hopefully soon, and you can set yourself a reminder for them. But Jenny, thank you. Always fun to
Thank
chat
you.
with you. And hopefully you all are inspired to try free motion quilting.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a great